5 at 5 continues now.
A federal judge has just blocked part of a controversial law in Ohio from being enforced. State lawmakers passed legislation 2 years ago, which has a high number of changes to voting rights in our state.
But voting advocates raising a red flag, saying the new law makes it harder for Ohioans with disabilities to access the ballot. Columbus Bureau reporter Morgan Trow has been covering the bill for years, and tonight she explains what the ruling means for one family in the state.
When Ohio passed legislation overhauling voting laws in 2022, Barbara Friedman Yasik was worried about the impact it could have on her family.
My brother and people like him have the right to vote.
Her brother Joel had a stroke 2 decades ago. While he lives in a nursing home, she has been his legal guardian, and she continues to fight to make sure he can cast his ballot.
My brother is very informed and a concerned voter, and there's absolutely no reason that it should be more difficult.
The only people allowed to deliver a sealed absentee ballot besides yourself are members of the Postal Service or close relatives. This includes a spouse, a parent, child, or sibling. It excludes caregivers, grandchildren, friends, and neighbors.
If something happened to me, my husband, a brother-in-law, couldn't do it.
Jen Miller with the League of Women Voters filed a lawsuit saying Ohio is violating the federal Americans with Disabilities Act, which states voters with disabilities are allowed to select a person of their choice to assist them with voting.
Many Ohio voters need to rely on grandkids, in-laws, roommates, and neighbors to return their absentee ballot or assist in other ways. But those folks could have faced a felony sentence.
Legal expert Jonathan Enton explains the lawmakers likely didn't mean to disenfranchise voters with disabilities.
Legislators were concerned about the possibility of a practice called ballot harvesting. That is, that slimy, unethical, or corrupt people will corral absentee ballots and turn them in.
To be clear, there is no widespread evidence of voter fraud. Ohio leaders have acknowledged this, but Enton said this is another preventative step for them. But a judge in Northeast Ohio sided with Miller and struck down that specific provision.
The chances of getting this ruling overturned, at least at this stage, are pretty slim.
Friedman Yasik says this is great news.
We need to encourage and enable as many people as possible to exercise their right to vote.
We reached out to the Attorney General, Secretary of State, and Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office. The AG's team said they're discussing their next steps. At the Ohio State House, I'm Morgan Trow reporting.
And with just less than 100 days now until the November 5th election, a reminder of some important dates between now and then to keep an eye on. Military and overseas absentee voting starts September 20th. The deadline to register to vote is October 7th. The next day, October 8th, is the start of absentee and early in-person voting. November 4th is the final day to postmark absentee ballots being mailed to local boards of elections. And on Election Day, November 5th, polls will be open from 6:30 a.m. until 7:30 p.m.
Ohio Senator and Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance is firing back at critics on the campaign trail. Vance saying Democrats are taking his childless cat lady's comment out of context. He told Fox News that he meant them as a quip and as a way of conveying that he's pro-family. The comments are from a 2021 Fox interview in which he said, quote, a bunch of childless cat ladies were running the country. Now, in the video, he argues people without children don't have a stake in the country's future. And he names Vice President Kamala Harris, who's a stepmother, and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who's adopted children. Now, the Ohio senator says a host of people who don't have children, quote, can participate fully in the life of the country.
Meanwhile, the Veep stakes for presumptive Democratic nominee Kamala Harris is heating up. ABC News reporting about a dozen candidates being considered. Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, and North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper believed to be at the top or near the top of the short list for her. An official pick is expected by August 7th, which Democrats contest is crucial in making a deadline to appear on the Ohio ballot come November. The Ohio Secretary of State, Republican Frank LaRose, has disputed that timeline. And remember, you can follow all of the developments surrounding the election on Scripps News. Tune in 24/7 by downloading the Scripps News app on your favorite streaming device.